If you notice a part of you still carrying the weight of being the one who was blamed, stay here for a moment. Take a slow breath and arrive here. You do not need to analyze anything. Let the words land where they land. Your body will take what it needs. And begin. I notice the part of me that still carries the role of the scapegoat. In my family system, I was often blamed, criticized, or singled out. When something went wrong, it felt like the finger pointed at me. This part of me learned that I was the problem. It learned that other people's pain, anger, or frustration could be placed on me. I notice how this created a deep sense of defectiveness. I notice how I learned to expect criticism, rejection, or misunderstanding. This part of me believes that if something is wrong, it must be my fault. It believes I must constantly defend myself or explain myself. I notice the shame that arises when I am misunderstood. I notice the fear of being judged or attacked. Underneath this is a child who was trying to survive in a family system that needed someone to carry the blame. The role of scapegoat was never my true identity. It was a position created by a dysfunctional system. I am ready to release the belief that I am the problem. I am ready to reclaim my true sense of worth and place in the world. I recognize these are experiences arising within my awareness, not truths about who I am. Even though this part of me still carries the role of the scapegoat, believing I am the problem and expecting blame at any moment, I acknowledge this fear is a passing pattern arising in consciousness, not the real or permanent self. I felt so small when the blame landed on me again. My body curled inward, trying to disappear. I believed there must be something deeply wrong with me. I watched others get angry and felt their pain become mine. My stomach tightened every time someone raised their voice. I thought if I could just explain better, they would finally see me. But they never did, and I felt so alone. I carried the weight of everyone's frustration like it was my job. I expected to be rejected before anyone even spoke. I felt the shame wash over me when I was misunderstood. Notice how this feels in your body right now. My chest burned with the fear of being attacked. I was just a child trying to survive, but I didn't know that then. I thought I deserved the blame they gave me. I felt defective, broken, and wrong at my core. I notice my mind observing this pain now, and it feels slightly different. Breathe into the heaviness in your chest. I felt desperate to prove I wasn't the problem. I defended myself before anyone even accused me. I saw the finger pointing at me before it moved. I believed if something went wrong, it must have been my fault. I felt the shame deepen every time I was misunderstood. I wanted to scream that it wasn't me, but my voice disappeared. Let the body soften a little now. I felt like the blame always found its way back to me. I believed this was just who I was. I noticed the part of me watching these feelings, and it feels steady. I can stay here with this pain without needing it to leave. The awareness holding these feelings remains intact and stable. I am not collapsing into this experience, I am simply noticing it. Underlying beliefs. Perhaps I deeply believe that I am fundamentally defective. It is possible that I expect blame and criticism because it felt inevitable. I might believe that if something goes wrong, it must be my fault. Maybe I think I need to constantly defend or explain myself to be safe. It is conceivable that I carry shame as a default response to being misunderstood. I could be afraid of being judged or attacked at any moment. There may be an emotional mechanism of absorbing others' pain to maintain connection. Perhaps the ego adopted the role of scapegoat to survive the family system. It is possible that being the problem gave me a twisted sense of place and purpose. These beliefs are patterns from past experiences and are not my true self. I might recognize that the role of the scapegoat was once a survival strategy that served me, but it is no longer aligned with who I am now and is being outgrown rather than fixed. Adult self, gently turn toward your inner child. I'm sorry to my inner child who was blamed and criticized unfairly. I'm sorry you had to carry pain that was never yours to hold. I understand now that you were just trying to survive, and your feelings are temporary waves passing through your awareness. Your pain is safe here with me, and I am the stable observer who will not abandon you. Inner child speaks. It feels strange to not be blamed, but maybe it's okay. I think I can trust you to hold this pain with me. Adult speaks. I give you permission to heal from the weight of false blame. I give you permission to forgive yourself and those who could not see you. I release any guilt and shame you carry that was never yours. I honor our journey together through this pain. I love you exactly as you are. You are safe to let go and be yourself because I am here now and always to protect you, and these feelings are passing experiences, not defining reality. Now that we've felt and honored the experience, allow understanding and light to arise naturally. Message from Higher Self. Your worth was never determined by the blame placed upon you. The role of scapegoat was an illusion born of a system that needed you to carry what it could not face. You are capable of releasing this old identity because it was never truly yours. Truth restores calm by showing you that you were never the problem. Your freedom comes from seeing that thoughts, fears, and emotional reactions are temporary appearances in consciousness. The true self is always whole, untouched, and free beneath these passing storms. The ask, inner child. I give myself permission to feel my body soften when no blame comes. It is safe now to let my shoulders drop and breathe, without waiting for the finger to point. Adult self. I choose to stay present with my inner child as we experience moments of quiet without accusation. I am here, grounded and steady, while we feel what it is like to not be the problem. Higher self. I allow this experience of release to unfold in its own time through my body and awareness. Sensations, thoughts, and impulses can arise and pass while awareness remains stable and untouched. Bridge into your new reality. Where I once braced for blame to land on me, I now feel my body remains soft and open. Earlier I expected criticism in every silence, but now I notice quiet feels neutral and safe. The shame that used to rise when I was misunderstood now passes through me like a cloud moving on. Reclaim your power. I choose to release the belief that I am the problem and embrace the truth that I was never the one to blame. I reclaim my inherent worth and unconditional self-respect, knowing the self witnessing this process is always untouched and capable. Seeing it done. I imagine myself moving through my day without the weight of the scapegoat role on my shoulders. I see myself interacting with others, and when something goes wrong, I notice my body stays relaxed, my breath remains steady, and I feel no urge to defend or explain. I watch myself simply being present, letting responsibility land where it belongs, and I feel the freedom of not carrying what was never mine. This new reality feels ordinary and safe, and I am the stable witness watching it unfold. I am finally understood without having to explain myself. My body knows the ease of not being blamed, and it feels like coming home. I breathe freely in a world where the finger never points at me. This way of being feels ordinary, safe, and quietly natural. Moving through life without carrying blame is simply how I am now. Now experience a new future. I'm in a room with my family, and I notice the familiar tension beginning to rise. Someone is frustrated about something that went wrong, and in the old pattern I would feel my stomach clench and my breath shorten, waiting for the finger to point at me. But today something is different. I feel my feet planted firmly on the floor, solid and grounded. My breath moves slowly and evenly in my chest, neither held nor forced. I notice the sensation of my back against the chair, supported and steady. I observe the frustration in the room arise, and I feel curious instead of afraid. My shoulders remain relaxed. My jaw stays soft. I notice thoughts arise saying this might be my fault, but I watch them pass like leaves floating down a stream. I do not grab onto them. I do not defend or explain. I simply breathe and feel the air moving in and out of my body with ease. The blame does not land on me because I am not reaching out to catch it. I feel a warmth in my chest, a quiet sense of okayness. My hands rest open in my lap, not clenched or hiding. I notice my inner child observing this with wonder, feeling the safety of not being the one to carry everything. The frustration in the room settles on its own, finding its natural place, and I remain here, calm and whole. I feel a gentle wave of relief move through my body, starting in my belly and rising softly to my throat. I notice a small smile at the corners of my mouth. This is what it feels like to not be the problem. This is ordinary. This is safe. I am here, present and complete, and the weight has simply dissolved. Allow this felt sense to continue integrating naturally in the body and in life. Take a deep breath, feel the shift, and smile. Let this settle gently. There's nothing you need to do right now. You can return to this whenever you feel called. Be gentle with yourself.